Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of CEO Talks. Today we are happy to have Mr. Ahmed Ali Nalwala, and he is the CEO of Anchor Allied. Mr. Ahmed, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
So first, let's just start with Anchor Allied journey since its establishment. It was established in 1995. It's mainly a company that produces building materials. So walk us through the journey of the company throughout the years and where are we today?
Okay, great. So we had really humble beginnings. We started off from a small garage kind of operation with 3 people back in 95. The era of the boom of UAE in the Middle East had started, and I came here as a boy, as you can imagine. So it has been it's been wonderful. We started off converting tapes, adhesive tapes, which was mainly used for painting and construction, and then we added on adhesives, sealants, aerosols, and now we do waterproofing compounds, so and a whole lot of construction chemistry.
So if you can tell us about the geographical presence of the company, that's number one, and to what extent you focus on certain industries when it comes to the products that you supply.
Currently, all our manufacturing plants are based in UAE. So we have 5 manufacturing locations. All are based in UAE, in all the different emirates. We currently cater to the construction aftermarket. We do construction chemicals, and then we do automotive aftermarket, which is mainly, again, automotive chemicals.
To what extent do you think that the company is taking advantage of the construction boom that we are seeing, not only in UAE, but I believe in GCC overall?
Well, that is the very premises of our business, right? So we are based in UAE, but we export to 70 countries around the world. We're not only a UAE or a Middle East-based company. We ship to MENA, we ship to all over Africa, all over the CIS countries, and then Latin America, and we've just ventured now into the United States.
To what extent do you think that there's a growth potential for the company?
It's enormous. It's enormous. I think we're at the right time. We're at the right place. The construction market is growing, and is growing high double digits, and so it puts us in the right place to produce construction chemicals for the Middle East and the region by itself.
When you look at the growth potential, do you think that there are certain countries, certain markets that have the greatest potential? And if you can tell us, what are they?
Well, right now it's Saudi Arabia, of course. That's where the action is. So it's Saudi for sure, but then it's all over. I mean, for us as Anchor, we are not only producing goods for the UAE or the Middle East, but we're producing goods for North Africa, for Middle East, and for the American market now. For us, that's the big exciting area to really grow. So for Anchor, we are looking to distribute our products into the United States. So we produce goods here and then we ship them to the United States.
But don't you think that this is a really competitive industry? I mean, when you compare the price of your products shipped to the United States in comparison to the ones that are being manufactured in the United States, to what extent is it a feasible competitive advantage that you have?
I think it's a myth that we in the Middle East don't know how to produce goods at the right price. It's not price alone, it's quality, it's specifications. We have really high spec in the Middle East. Our construction codes are very high, so our spec are very high. We are in spec standards, we are equal to the United States or even better at some points. So that's not a hindrance. Price is not the key factor in our industry. It's also service. It's also the environmental awareness of the product. So we are COP28 compliant today already. We are green building certified, and so it makes sense for us to produce goods here, and it is viable to ship to the Western region.
So I'll come back to you with regards to COP28 and sustainability. But before that, when you look at the industry as a whole, to what extent that do you think that there's enough demand for green building material products, and especially when it comes to Europe and United States and the markets that you serve internationally?
Well, it's not only internationally; it's also now it's become law also in the UAE, right? It's becoming law all over the region. So green building products are already being specified by consultants, by architects. All the new construction has to be compatible. So we are already there. It's not that we need to be there, we're already there. In the US, it's already been there for a while. So there is a demand. The demand is strong. It's high double digits. And I believe that going forward, it's going to grow even faster because the acceptability of the world is for green building solutions.
So pricing-wise, is it when you look and compare the prices of traditional building materials to green building materials, to what extent is there a price difference?
It's not that huge because once you have, volume, once you have the numbers in place, it's not that enormous. It's not that it's going to break the bank. But on the other hand, if you're efficient in producing those kind of products and you can bring down that difference, then it's acceptable in the market.
So tell us about sustainability, your sustainability agenda at Anchor Allied.
We were on this journey a couple of years back, and I take great pride to tell you that we were one of the first few zero waste companies. So we are vertically integrated. Whatever we produce, we consume, and whatever we waste, we recycle. So all our chemicals are recycled, all our metal packaging is recycled.
And you do that with collaboration with other companies?
Yes, some products we have to because we don't have the complete infrastructure for recycling. But a lot of the chemicals we recycle ourselves. So we actually collect it, we recycle it, and we reconsume it at different plants.
And to what extent that impacts your efficiency?
It's amazing because you're actually, instead of throwing it away, you're actually reusing it. So you actually bring down the cost and makes you efficient. It makes you, cost competitive. So that's a big game changer for us.
How about technology? Recently, and actually since COVID 2020, we have seen that technology is now a big part of each and every industry, especially when it comes to AI, artificial intelligence. So to what extent do you also rely on technology when it comes to increasing the efficiency of your operations?
So we're already on the robotic arms, and we've already incorporated all those kind of AI-related tools. Robotic arms in manufacturing has been there for a while.
Yes.
It's just not popular in Middle East, but it's been there for a while. We adapted that, a couple of years back. So those are paying, it's paying itself. It's not a challenge that you can't get it here. The challenge is that you don't adapt to it. So we've adapted to that fairly well, and the end consumer eventually pays for it, because if you are cost efficient and you can get your product at the right price and you can produce it in a number of volumes, you already pay back. So AI has been a game changer for us in the manufacturing process, not in the product itself, but the process becomes efficient, and then you become cost efficient along the way.
When you talk about supply chains, I'm sure that you had some difficulties with COVID 2020. All industries, all the world had these issues. Today, to what extent do you think that supply chains are smoother, let's say, to the industry as a whole?
I think we learned a lot from that crisis, right? I mean, that was a disaster that the whole world experienced, and so what we learned along the way is, not to be complacent, but to be efficient. We became vertically integrated, so we started producing a lot of the goods. A lot of our packaging goods are now produced by us, for us. So we became efficient in that aspect. But we also learned one simple fact, that we have to have multiple suppliers globally. So we just do not rely on our immediate supplier or our immediate
and usually your immediate suppliers are
in the region.
In the region, local.
Yeah. Local, of course, we have priority. We give priority, but we cannot depend on that 100%. So we've made it as a company policy. We are going to be diversified in our sourcing and stay as lean and efficient as we can.
So tell us about your competitive strategy. I mean, this is a competitive industry.
It is.
So how do you actually compete in this industry?
By producing efficiently, number one. Second is backward vertical integration. So we start from the base raw material to the final product. We produce it all in-house. So that makes us extremely competitive. And then now we've gone to the next leg, which is distribution. So first we distribute always through distributors. Now, for example, in the US, we go direct to consumer. So we produce, we distribute ourselves, and we go direct to consumer.
Does it impact your pricing strategy when you go in this route?
It makes us a reliable supplier because we are the producer. We're not depending on somebody else. We're not just a trader, we are a producer ourselves. So that makes us A, dependable, and B, it makes us also, gives us more clarity as to the demand of the market. We know exactly what the consumer wants.
And that impacts your innovation strategies as well.
Exactly.
So how does that work?
We learn from our customer. Our customer actually teaches us what he wants to produce, and that's what we do.
So how do you come up with new products? It depends on the customer demand, of course, and the preference of the customers. But what other factors are taken into consideration when it comes to innovation?
Look, innovation, the word innovation is a very large, big spectrum of things. You can have innovation in producing technology. You can have innovation in the product itself. So there are twofold aspects to it. In the process of innovation of products, we are not yet there. We don't have the best labs in the Middle East, so we are not there yet. What we are really, really good at is once we have the right product, we know how to produce it right. So our investments in our innovation are in the right processes, and that's what's giving us. So we are more efficient in producing our goods rather than trying to innovate goods itself. We're not going there and coming up with some break-end technology because we've got the best labs in the world. We don't have that yet.
Why do you think that we don't have that yet?
I think that takes time. The Middle East is not a manufacturing hub yet. What
needs to be done?
Industry policies have to come in. Policies are coming in. UAE is taking the first step in the Middle East. Saudi started again. They're encouraging manufacturing. They're looking at manufacturing in a sustainable way. So that's the game changer. Now you will see in the next, I think, 10 years, a couple of decades, you'll see a lot of manufacturing coming here. But in the past, we were not known for a manufacturing area. We were, tourism, that was a big industry that was leading the way. Now manufacturing is. We have a policy in place. And so manufacturing is being looked upon. And I think it's a government initiative, right? So the government has taken steps towards manufacturing.
So as the CEO of Anchor Allied, where do you see the company 10 years from today?
Oh, we'd like to see ourselves in at least 150 countries from 70 where we are today, for one. It gives me great pride to produce goods in UAE and then ship them to 70 countries. And so if I can reach 150, that's what I'd like to do.
And do you think that there's any chance that we're going to see Anchor Allied as a publicly listed company?
That is definitely on the cards. We are looking at that, not immediately for sure, but in the coming future, if the market is there and the demand of the stock exchange is there and the people's appreciation is there, for sure.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ahmed, for this interview. Mr. Ahmed Ali Nalwala, CEO of Anchor Allied. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This is the end of this episode of CEO Talks.